Welcome to the Amazing Couples Game Show. I'm your host, Byron Hodges. This is season 2, episode 20, and this is my co-host, Phyllis Hodges.
Hey, everybody. I'm the co-host. I'm Mrs. Hodges, and welcome to a special episode. But it's always seemed like we got something special going on.
We're talking about 2 different occasions tonight.
Yes, what are they?
One of them is one of my greatest, Father's Day.
Yes. And the other one is Juneteenth, baby. We're going to tell everybody what we just found out about Juneteenth.
I have not known nothing about this.
Okay, babe. Well, we're going to educate you and educate the viewers, and you know how they do it. Sometimes they chime in and educate us. So we're going to have a great night tonight. But what's really special about it, honey, we have a couple way from where? Do you remember?
I seem to recall Alabama.
Yes, Montgomery, Alabama.
Okay.
And that's our first. So this is history in itself.
Yes, it is.
And we're going to go ahead and bring them in, and we're going to talk about who they are and all this other great stuff.
We're not talking about any sponsors or anything like that?
We're going to do it at the end of the show.
Okay, I can grasp it.
Okay, let's bring them in right about now. Let's see. Admit. Let's see. They're going to come in. And you didn't say, honey, how pretty I was.
Well, it's be repetitious.
Yeah. Oh, there they are. Thank God. Hey, everybody.
You doing?
You all are here.
Right.
Y'all look marvelous. You know, we chitty-chatted just a little bit last night, but you didn't see my honey bun.
Hi. How you doing?
Byron, these are those marvelous people that I was telling you about from Montgomery, Alabama.
Wonderful.
And you know a little bit about them, so why don't you tell the viewers about what's taking place?
Reading something tonight? Okay.
Yeah, you're going to read a little bit more tonight.
Oh, Pastors Ronnie and Golden Edwards of Montgomery, Alabama, been married 24 years.
That's right.
They oversee 2 ministries, World Up Ministries, Couples Living for Christ Ministries. That's
wow.
That's full-time job.
I know that's full-time, y'all.
Yeah, it's full-time.
Ronnie is retired 36 years from the city of Montgomery, Alabama.
Okay. Well, with 2 ministries, he needs to be retired.
He doesn't have time to do one.
Okay.
Retiree of the Lab Corps.
Okay.
They got 5 children and 9 grandchildren.
Oh, they can talk about Father's Day for sure. Let's give it up for this Montgomery, Alabama couple. Y'all.
Thank you.
Welcome to Little Rock, Arkansas.
Thank you.
By way of Facebook, by way of YouTube.
And the next freeway.
In the next freeway. Okay, have you all ever been to Little Rock, Arkansas?
No.
Look at that. Maybe not.
In Arkansas.
Yeah, we've been to Arkansas. We were in Arkansas to see the
art.
The art.
No.
The Holy Land.
Right. The Holy Land.
Okay. Do you remember the Holy Land? Do you remember what part was it? You remember what part of Arkansas? Was it Branson? That's Missouri though. Yeah. Was it it's another place. It's another place that have different types of plays and things. So
it was like a live Holy Land. It was real people, and we got to see it was like the whole Bible, but it was live. It was live.
We gotta Google. We gotta find out what part of Arkansas they came to, because we need to go see the art.
Yeah.
Okay, before we get started tonight talking about 2 major special subjects, which is Father's Day, our fathers right behind us. We'll talk about that a little bit later, but we're going to talk about Juneteenth. And we did a little homework, a little history research. But before we do any of that special type of information for our viewers, I want the pastors to tell us a little bit about them. Tell us a little bit about Montgomery, Alabama. Just talk to us, y'all.
Go ahead.
Well, Montgomery is a little small city in
Capital.
it's the capital, Alabama.
Yeah.
And matter of fact, I was born in Boston, Massachusetts.
Okay.
And we came down when I was 3 years old, but I've been raised in Montgomery.
Okay.
So you know Montgomery.
Yes.
Okay.
So, I've been in Montgomery. I grew up in Montgomery. I went to school in Williamburn Patterson, the elementary, and then I went to Capitol Heights Junior High, and I graduated from Robbie Lee.
Okay.
After I graduated from Robbie Lee, about a year later, that's when I started working for the city of Montgomery. I was about 20 years old.
Okay.
And when I retired, I was 57.
And Ronnie only worked one job his whole work life.
Oh my, now that's history in itself because so many people interact with so many different jobs. So Golden, tell us a little bit about you, please, ma'am.
Well, again, Montgomery is my home. I was born and raised here in Montgomery, Alabama. Montgomery is the civil rights area. You hear a lot about Montgomery, Alabama because of Martin Luther King and the Dexter Avenue Baptist Church. Yeah. And I was raised in all of that, and unfortunately, but fortunately, I was in the demonstration. I was involved in the demonstration when they were Martin Luther King, and they were all here demonstrating for civil rights and all that. I was a little girl, but I remember that.
Oh,
yeah.
You might have heard where I came from, Cairo, Illinois.
I heard of that, yes.
Okay, with all that history. Okay.
Yep. And like Ronnie, like I said, this is home, and I was a military wife. First marriage. I was a military wife, so I was out of Montgomery for a few years. I had the privilege of going to Kentucky, Tennessee, was in Germany for 2.5 years. My kids were basically military kids. But then I moved back to Montgomery. My parents, as they got older, I moved home to Montgomery and took care of them. Matter of fact, we are in my parents' home. When my parents died, I moved back here and met Ronnie. Ronnie and I were church members, and I knew him. We knew each other way back as church members, but like I said, this is second marriage for both of us. Right. He was married to someone else, and I was married to someone else. And then fate would have it that we got divorces. And 7 years later for me, I think it was 4 years for him, we had been single, and we met in the grocery store. And 3 months later, we were married.
Oh my goodness. Well, this is the Amazing Couples Game Show, and I'm hearing some amazing things going on right now. Honey, they met at a grocery store. Honey, this is their second go around. Baby, when I hear people talk about the second go around, sometimes I ask the question, is it better the second time around?
Of course.
Well, for me, yes. And I can't say that without putting God in it.
Right.
Because we learned through the first go around that something was missing.
Right.
Okay. And that's something was
God.
Yes. This is good. That is the Amazing Couples. Viewers, you all remember when we first implemented commercials about what was about to take place around the world, the Amazing Couples Game Show. And we talked about our life. We talked about Christianity. We talked about having God first in these marriages, and they will last when you put him first. So this couple now, you listening in, you're going to learn something tonight because, again, honey, so many times married couples, especially Christians, sometimes they start feeling guilty when they hear the word divorce, and they know they've been in a divorce. They know they're in their second or whatever number marriage. They feel very uncomfortable. So now this is a Christian couple right here. And you say, again, this is your second go round. you mentioned Christ. So the question is, did you all not have Christ in your life as the head in your first marriages?
I did.
No.
I did.
Ronnie said he did. Your wife
Oh.
said you did. Did y'all or didn't you?
I did.
Okay, you had Christ. Okay, and what about you, Golden?
No.
Okay, Golden, you said you didn't have Christ in yours, but Ronnie said he did. Okay, so now the divorce happened, and there were a period of time before you all started to date. Tell our viewers about that as much as you possibly can, as much as you want to share in terms of all marriages. I don't care if it's the amazing couples marriage, all marriage has ups and downs. Y'all want to talk about that so we can encourage the other viewers that's watching?
Well, with me, I realized that the one I married the first time, they had a different agenda. It wasn't about me, it was about them. And when you're trying to change someone, then that's a bad road to go. Instead of accepting me as I am, she was trying to change me. And things went south. Okay. Instead of being on one accord, and we was like a banana peel, we was split. So that and that right there took me to another drive that saying that we couldn't be together because we weren't on the same page. And there were things that didn't happen in the marriage that wasn't, pleasant. So we decided that, hey, we need to go our separate ways.
Okay. So, wow, that's something. And then that's when prayer is definitely needed. That's when we need to call on God. Now, Golden, you mentioned in your first marriage, you didn't have God. Talk to us about that.
I was in church, but I didn't have God. I was raised in the church, and my husband was a pastor. But we wasn't honoring God. We were being married the best way we knew how, and we was going through the formalities, but we just wasn't honoring God. We didn't know that we needed to seek God and pray and ask God to direct our marriage. So that's why I said no. We were in church, but we just wasn't connected to God. And that's why couples living for Christ means so much to me, because I learned the hard way that in order to have a successful marriage, you need God in it. And so it's so important to me that I let people know if you got one thing missing, and it's very easy to flip the marriage around if you're having problems. Just let's get God in the equation. And I've seen it happen where they give their life to Jesus Christ, and the whole life turns around just by acknowledging him and then praying and talking to him. Exactly. It's just that simple.
Wow. Honey, listening to this couple, let's piggyback off of them. We've been married 48 years, and we are so elated to tell people that, because in today's time, baby, if you've married 2 years, you batting 1,000. So saying we've been married 48 years with our ups and with our downs, and God being first. Talk, baby.
And thank God, in the latter years, we picked up God.
Because
we learned along the way, and we had all those tremendous ups and downs.
Right.
We were faced with, hey, we might need to get a divorce, we might need to do this and that, but God held us together. And we found out that was the equation that was missing. You couldn't get me to talk about Jesus Christ. I'd be saying, I don't have time for this. Now that's all I have time for. But he fits, he works, he does things for me. I step back. I don't try to control it. I may get mad and upset. But what I say, and I pray about what I got to do.
And what I like about all of this is my husband and I, we were one at such an early age. I was 16, he was 22, and now we're senior citizens, and we laugh about that as such a blessing, because even though I had Christ in my life, but I had him when it was convenient for me. When everything was going great, I didn't tap into it. When it was growing a terrible mess, I'm grabbing for God. So I was what they call straddling the fence.
Yes.
You know better, you do better.
Yes.
And when my husband got sick and tired of the way things were going, oh my, he sought after God. So now him seeking after God, I'm loving the way he's changing. God is working with him. And I'm saying, woo, he is really sexy at reading that Bible. He is really at talking to me. And I was loving all of that. And then we started in our latter years. This man read the Bible to me at night, y'all. Y'all better hear me. It's like reading me a book, storybook. We get up in the morning and we're eating breakfast and we're saying, let's read the Bible. So we're doing it in the morning time, we're doing it at night, and we're enjoying this. And
we're talking about it.
Yes.
We're fitting the equation. I mean, we're going through everything. I'd say, well, I asked her, what did you just read? I mean, what am I getting out of this? We start talking about what we're getting. And then I start, when I communicate with people daily, I said, gosh, they don't know what they're missing. Look what I missed all these years.
yeah.
You know, just to pick it up and have the peace of mind.
Yes.
And to be able to have another couple every week to be able to share their relationship, to be able to talk about their marriage. And it's a blessing because so many people, they may ask this question, well, how did you find out, or who taught you? Matter of fact, I asked my mom that question, Mama, who taught you how to be a good wife? And then I flipped that and I asked myself, there's no books out there about how to be a good wife. My mama didn't teach me about how to be a good wife, but my mom was my first teacher. I watched my mom. My mom was a strong woman, but my mom was married twice also. So with all of that being said, it's been trial and error in our relationship. But my God, again, when you know better,
you do better.
Ladies and gents, I suggest, like Golden just said, you do better when you know better. So now today, again, we're talking about two major subjects with this powerful married couple. And when Byron introduced you all, I think my honey bun said 5 children and how many kids? 9 grandbabies. Okay, it's Father's Day. I believe Pastor Ronnie is being celebrated, not just from the children, but the grandchildren. So talk to us about Father's Day. You know, Father's Day, for whatever reason, it's not celebrated quite like Mother's Day.
Yeah.
So talk to us about your children and your grandchildren.
Well, we don't have no children of our own, but we already have children.
We're blended.
Okay.
We're blended family. And
family.
I mean, it was hard, you know, trying to adjust to things in the marriage. But then as time went on, we got to know each other. And see, when you don't know each other, then you thinking that somebody may think that I'm stepping on their territory or whatnot.
Right.
But I had to show myself as a friend in order for them to receive me. Because you see, if you show yourself friendly, and then you begin to meet friends.
Okay.
So I didn't come in, you know, bombard, you know, trying to be the boss or whatnot, but I had to get to know them as well as they had to get to know me. And as time went on, we began to know each other and fellowship with one another. And now it's all good now.
Yeah, they had a high respect on.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's good. And I like that word, that respect. You need
they had the high respect on.
and your parents got to respect you. That's a blessing. Now talk to me, Golden, with you all having a blended family. Now hubby Ronnie is coming in. You have the children. Were you apprehensive? Were you biting your nails? What was because you know you all in love and all of this, but you got your babies. What was the emotions? What was going on in your mind, in your head?
The excitement of being married. As far as the children, like I said, really, the excitement of being married and the excitement of the God connection. And I don't want to sound spiritual, but I want to give God the praise. When I met Ronnie, we knew each other, like I said in the past, but I wasn't looking for a husband.
Okay.
But God knew my heart.
Mhm.
And when Ronnie and I married, I was just excited about the gift of what God had blessed me with.
Right.
Because I knew he was a blessing for me. And then the children, they were okay, but it was an adjustment because my daughter, I had two at home. All the other ones, and he has one son,
Okay.
and then the rest of them are mine. And they were all out except the two younger ones. My daughter was 21 years old, and she was expecting a child. And my baby was 12 years old, and he was the head of the house. So that's what he said. He was the head of the house.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it was an adjustment.
Yeah. I'll take that
I
off.
can only imagine, because I'm
Yeah.
hearing you say this. I'm hearing you say 12 and 20 something. That's
Yeah.
a generational gap right there.
Yes.
And now a man, a husband to be is coming in. Oh my God.
Yes.
You as y'all hear this.
Often tell my wife how blessed we are. We're all one unit.
Yes.
If you get married a second time or maybe 3 times, there's a lot of complications that go along with those.
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
My son, I can look up and we're so on one track. It's all like it's an even flow. There's no turmoil or anything.
On that note, since you mentioned your son, and it is Father's Day,
Yes.
your son wanted me to read a
There
letter
you
to
go.
you. Okay.
Oh.
Now, and he's 30. How old is Brian?
37.
He's 37. He knew this was our special Juneteenth and Father's Day.
Yeah.
And listen up, everybody. Viewers, check this out. Grown man to grown man.
My son is the type that calls me and says, "I love you, Dad. Talk to you later."
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, all the time.
Okay, honey, are you ready to listen to
I'm
the
ready.
letter? Okay.
Right.
To my dad, from your son, no names. Dear Dad, I just wanted to take the time to write you and tell you how special and important you are to me. I try and thank God always, daily, to let him know he blessed me by giving me you as my dad. A lot of people have fathers, but I'm blessed in the fact that you are my dad, and that takes a different kind of man. That's being said, I have and always will love you, Brian Hodges, your son.
Oh.
My son.
All right. Yeah.
Are you surprised?
No.
You're not surprised? You're not
No.
surprised to get this letter.
No.
Did you see him
Because
writing
he's
the letter?
unpredictable. He was writing something, and I said, "I wonder who he's writing that to."
Oh, go ahead. See, he didn't supposed to let you see him writing the thing. Anyway, that's yours. That's yours. So
I'm spraying that with the rest of them.
I know. Okay, let's get back to the couple in Montgomery, Alabama.
All
And I
right.
love saying that because, again, you all know you all are our first couple that we have interviewed, we've had on the show from Montgomery, Alabama.
Yeah.
And when we talk about Montgomery, Alabama, all I think of is history, baby, history.
Yes.
History.
Yes.
So we are just so honored to have you all. When I think of Montgomery, Alabama, I think about that boycott, the bus boycott. Oh my goodness, it went around the world. When most people think about Little Rock, Arkansas, they think about Central High, the Little Rock 9, the segregation and all of that. And even talking about Montgomery, Alabama, Arkansas, and then look at us. Folks looking like me and you. Oh,
Yeah.
Stop with that, y'all. That's what I'm saying. Love don't have a
It does
color.
not have
Y'all
a
better,
color.
Amen.
y'all better
That's
hear me.
right.
Okay, we're gonna get back to Father's Day in a few minutes, but let's talk. I just love your earrings, girl. If I can reach my hand out, and if you could just take them earrings off and put them in my hand, I'll say, "Oh, baby, look at here. They're pretty."
If I could do it, I sure would.
So put them some gorgeous earrings. Can we switch on the air? Okay, Golden, tell me this now. with you all being pastors, you have 2 ministries, full-time retirees. How do you all balance just keeping the fire going on in your personal life? Because ministry in itself, whoo, baby. So how you keep the fire going in y'all relationship?
We are scriptural based people. We live our life based on the word of God.
Okay.
And our motto is we two are one. The word of God say two become one. So we two are one. So we two have 2 ministries.
Okay.
And we just work in unity. Basically everything we do, we do it together.
I
And as
love
far as
that.
the ministries, we're on Facebook Live. We have Ronnie's room where we do our interacting ministry, where we can talk back like we are doing in Ronnie's room. And he does it sometime, I do it sometime, and then we do it together.
Okay.
We minister together.
I love
Word
that.
up is like service.
Okay.
It's teaching. It's like you would have in the church.
Okay.
That's what word up ministry is. It's teaching, and Pastor Ronnie basically teaches Sunday morning word up.
Okay.
I'm there. I support him. I'm right by him. I'm reading his scriptures. We work together.
Okay.
And couples living for Christ, we alternate. It's just whichever way the Lord leads.
I know. Follow the Holy Spirit. Okay.
Yeah.
So we talked about the ministry. We talked about the work. We're talking about serving Christ. Okay. Now you're going to rest. You resting in Pastor Ronnie's arm.
Yeah.
You're doing all the things that their wife's supposed to do. Okay. The viewers are looking because they just heard Byron say, Byron just told the viewers, you all been married 24 years. So you cannot in your right mind say, we've been married 24 years if you don't have any fun time, if you don't have some laughter going on, if you don't have some sexiness going on and all of that stuff. So come on, teach us. How do you all do that? Ronnie, Pastor Ronnie.
Well, in our spare times, we play games together and stuff,
Okay.
Play games, we play cards. Of course, we watch television together.
We travel a lot.
We travel.
Okay.
We try to travel at least about twice a year.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Twice a year.
Okay,
And-
now I heard you say spare time. And when it comes to that husband-wife relationship, I don't even look for no spare time because we're real busy. We just gonna make it happen.
That's right.
Yep.
Yeah, you just got to make it happen.
That's right.
Because sometimes it's not a lot of extra time in there. But when it's a God thing, you're gonna find the time. So
That's right.
I want to enjoy every minute of the day.
Yeah.
If I'm busy doing something, I'm working, I want to be happy doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's if you got God, you're going to be happy.
Yeah.
But when you miss that one ingredient, you're trying to figure out what's wrong. And when you've got people in front of you that need guidance and counseling, and they see the person that they're talking to has got something to give them, that means a lot.
Exactly.
If it helps somebody, go ahead, I'm listening.
And one thing I realize in marriage is there is no map or a book on marriage. You enjoy your marriage the way you enjoy. I don't understand how people don't enjoy going to the store together. I don't understand how people don't like
Shop together.
the shop together. I don't understand why when he go put some gas in the car, why I can't ride with him. And we joking and we laughing and we singing and we do what we enjoy doing.
I'm not going anywhere.
And on that note,
Me too.
If I got to go somewhere, you going? Well, let's go. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Pastor's gonna say something.
and on that note, it may seem trivial, but from the beginning, before we got married, I was opening up the car door for her and still doing that today.
Today.
I'm talking about, yeah.
Still doing that today. And it's about serving one another,
Hey, that's it.
serving one another needs.
Mhm.
serving one another desires
Mhm.
when the moment comes.
Mhm.
So I always say, enjoy the moment.
Enjoy,
Right,
enjoy
right.
the moment. Golden, I love what you just said. It was funny. You said you don't understand how people don't like going, couples going with each other, whether it's the store, gas station, or whatever. And I laughed at that so hard because when people know me, they know Phyllis Hodges. I'm a little bit different from most women. I hate shopping, whether it's clothes, whether it's food. But one thing, I love me some honey bun.
And love being with it.
And so when he's gonna go to the store, I'm not necessarily going inside the store, but I'm riding with it. I'm gonna be sitting in that vehicle. I may be fanning. Ooh, I sure hope he heard him come out that store. Or I may be on that phone and say, "Are you still in line?"
Yeah, yeah,
But I'm going.
I can go,
Yes.
I have a lot of friends at the store.
yes.
I bump into them,
He
talk to
go
them,
to
I
store-
know them all.
He
Know them
has
well.
a social good time.
Yeah.
Honey, can you just go in there and get that list? You know good
I'm
well.
living every minute of it.
That's it. That's it. Amen. That's it.
And
That's
so,
it.
and so with you all saying that, I want the other viewers to know, sometimes we complain about finances. Sometimes we complain about not being able to do this or do that. You can make the time.
That's
and
right.
You can find the way to do whatever you need to do. Not
Mhm.
necessarily what you want to do, but what you need to do.
Mhm.
That's right.
Okay,
That's
so
right.
Yes.
let's talk about Juneteenth. Let's hop over here and talk about Juneteenth.
Educate me.
Education.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna let the couple, we're gonna let them, look, we're gonna let Montgomery, Alabama educate us. And then I'm gonna share a few little tips that I heard about today, and we're gonna educate everybody. Okay, y'all.
Well, Ronnie ready.
Ronnie,
Well,
what you know about, look, Juneteenth?
well, what I know about Juneteenth, that it started on June the 19th, 1865. I know that much.
You got it, you got it.
And they recognized it as a national holiday last year.
That's it, that's
Okay.
it, that's it.
And see, I found out also what happened on Juneteenth was that the freedom finally came on June the 19th, 1865, when some 2,000 Union troops, they arrived at what it is, trying to pronounce this word,
Okay.
Galveston Bay.
Galveston.
Yeah,
Galveston.
that was all this here happened in Texas.
Okay.
And they, who was they is the army, they announced that more than 200,000 enslaved blacks were in the state, and they were freed by the executive decree. So I learned that today.
Okay, okay.
So also I learned why the importance of Juneteenth was when the Union General Gordon Gander
Mhm.
arrived in Gaston, Texas,
Galveston.
Texas,
Mhm.
to inform the slaves that they were free. So see, they didn't know they was free until this general came to inform them.
And it was
Because
like 2 years
That's about
later.
10 years,
Uh-huh.
10 years later.
After the independence, the
Right.
Declaration of Independence.
Right, when Lincoln had
Mhm.
freed the slave, but these people here was
They
still
didn't know they were free.
enslaved.
Mhm.
And there's something, and there's
Are we,
something.
are we referring to the Emancipation Proclamation?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
No,
1860?
he asked about
no.
the Emancipation Proclamation was first.
Yeah, that's
Mhm,
first.
mhm.
But when Lincoln had signed the agreement to free the slaves,
That was the Emancipation Proclamation, but these people were not aware of it.
And that's
So
all-
they were enslaved for 10 years longer
Mhm, mhm.
because they wasn't aware of it until the people came and told them, you free, you've been free. And they didn't even know it.
And that's something,
Man.
and listening to you all share this, there are so many people, so many people that only have bits and pieces of what Juneteenth really is. So
Yeah.
I went and I did me some research because hubby and I, we started talking about it. And my husband, he knew a little bit about the was it Lincoln?
Lincoln.
The
yeah.
Lincoln.
Emancipation.
He knew a little bit about that. And I'm saying, well, wait a minute, that's not what they're talking about. And when I did my homework, again, President Byron, he signed, yes, it was last year, the Juneteenth National Independence Day Act into law last year. And when I heard that, I take pictures of everything. I'm in front of the TV like I'm in the White House. I'm taking pictures and I'm saying, wow, this is major here. Out of all the presidents, he was the one to step out and to officially make Juneteenth a holiday. And so I'm saying we're going to have this program. We need to be able to piggyback on some of the information that's being shared. We need to be able to share information with our viewers. So what I decided to do, again, digging deep, I wrote a few little tidbits here to find out this is a big celebration because the slaves were free. Like you said, they didn't even know they were free slaves. So they started celebrating, started dressing up, started preparing all kinds of meals. And somewhere in there, the history got lost. They didn't continue to talk to their children and to their grandchildren and nephews and nieces. And it's like, wow, we have so much history that's not shared. We have so much history that's lost. And I think all people, not just African-American people,
That's right.
all people should know about Juneteenth. I was continuing to think about it. We're talking about our ancestors. This was a painful experience. Can we imagine being brought from a country into another country that you don't have the same type of language, you don't know anything about their culture, then you look around and it's undeveloped. And you, Black people, you were the ones to cut or chop the trees down. You were the ones to get the cement and make the streets, the pavement.
That's right.
You were the ones to build the houses and build these cars, do these type of things, but you weren't getting paid for any of this. You were the ones that was in charge, if you will, of those cotton fields. In charge meaning picking it, and your knuckles are bleeding, dust to dawn. And then you look at us as women, those ladies went to bed a lot of nights not knowing where their husbands were, where their children were, because they were slaves, and their children and husbands, a lot of them were being sold from the women.
That's right.
We as females, oh my God, this here, not a husband and wife that's interracial. If that Black woman was there, whether she was beautiful, whether she was not so beautiful, she was at the master, if you will, at his beck and call.
That's right.
Being just totally degraded. And even thinking about all of this, I am so honored to have a strong husband that loves me, and that we got children and we have friends, and we have overcome so much, and we're learning this history together. It's what can I say? It's almost unknown how many women that may be in an interracial marriage but won't say too much or talk about or have that back history. Because even, honey, in your lifetime, your life period, there's some kind of history that everybody don't know about.
I was raised this way. I'm a pure-hearted person. The reason I say that is when I'm dealing with people, I don't look at people's color. I look at the person, the individual, their heart, what's in them. And it could be my friend or not want to be my friend. But I'm not the type that's going to turn my back on anybody that needs something.
Right.
And that's the way you should respect everybody.
And whether you're Caucasian or not,
everybody.
all races should feel that
Yeah,
same
that's
way.
right.
Feel that
Everybody
same
should
way.
be comfortable
right.
around one another.
Right.
And that's the other thing is I was raised across the track.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes a big difference when I'm influenced. You got a little white kid that's 7 or 8 years old going down through the projects, and the people that raised me had a grocery store. I'd get a little red wagon and go down through the projects, and I would sell these bottles to get comic books.
But honey, not only
All
that,
kinds of things.
but that was so rare.
Yeah, well,
because that was rare in the
Yeah.
way you were brought up.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
now, from a black person standpoint, you wouldn't go into no black home and think a 7-year-old child getting ready to do nothing like that, almost raising themselves. You're not gonna see that.
Everybody knew me.
Mhm.
I would say like this, 99% of my communication was black people.
Mhm.
Here I am over here. You had a grocery store right in the middle of it.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So that's my total environment, and I grew up this way.
Right.
yeah.
And I was blessed to have these people raise me. I mean, they took care of me from the minute they got me till that was the end of it. And hey, my heart is always thinking about them. They were beautiful people.
Okay, honey, hold that thought. We're gonna go back to Pastor Ronnie. Pastor Ronnie, you did some more homework. Anything else we need to know about Juneteenth?
Yeah, I found out that what is Juneteenth is an annual commemoration of the end of slavery in the United States.
That's it. That's
Okay.
it.
Yeah, and the significance of it is the emancipation of slavery in the state in rebellions against the Union. That was the significance of it. They rebelled against the Union because they didn't want the slaves free.
Right, exactly, exactly. You did your homework. I'm loving this. One thing I do want the viewers to realize, so many times when they talk about certain things, we're talking about Juneteenth, they commercialize. And then now a lot of people are trying to make money off of something that I consider Black pride.
Yeah.
They're making everything, and the money is tipping out of our community, going
Yeah.
into all other communities. So
Yeah.
this is what I'm encouraging and in challenging our viewers. Pass this along. In most cities, there are celebrations for Juneteenth.
Mhm.
Go out if you will. When we go out, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, I'm gonna be safe. I'm gonna put my cute mask on.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a whole lot of folks out there, people. So do what you're supposed to do. We still social distance. We still wear our masks.
Yeah.
So
That's
once you go out there and do what you need to do, spend your money and support local, support other
That's right.
African businesses.
Yes. Yeah.
And try your best to do that. And sometimes when people talk about support, sometimes you don't have the finances to support. But you just heard about, let me tell these folks, they just heard about Word Up Ministries. They just heard about Couples Living for Christ. They know about Amazing Couples Game Show.
That's right.
Okay, you heard about it. Why don't you tune in? Why don't you share the message? Why don't you send a referral? Sometimes that type of favor is better than digging in your pocket, blessing somebody with $10 or $15, because new revenue is so important. So again, for married couples that's listening in, that need some more guidance, need some more wisdom, please know there is help out there. I was talking to Golden, and Golden mentioned they're not counselors, but they are ministers, so they can minister the word. They can lead you all into a better way of living. Yes, ma'am.
And yes, I mean, we just want you to see how to do it God's way.
Yes,
Amen.
yes.
Just do it God's way. I promise you, it will make a difference. Just putting God first. That's all.
Amen.
Yes, yes.
Colossians 3:17 Say, whatever you do, do it wholeheartedly unto the Lord.
That's
There
what
you
I'm
go.
talking.
You know,
I'm so glad you said that, because we be talking about that when we're doing our recordings, and sometimes it act crazy. I tell my honey, I said, honey, we just can't do that. We gotta do it with a spirit of excellence, like we do it up and unto God. We just can't play. We gotta do this here. And he totally agrees,
Yeah.
because we're on one accord. This ministry is God's ministry, and he hired us out as the overseers.
that's right.
Always
That's
ask the
right.
question, what's next?
Yes, yes, yes. So we're gonna put a pin there for Juneteenth, and we're gonna look behind us. And I would like to introduce the world to my late father, James Lawrence Marshall Sr. And I heard Golden say something about Montgomery, Alabama, and Martin Luther King. Growing up, people used to tell me, girl, your daddy looked like Martin Luther King. So a lot of this was taking place. And then when my birthday came, April 4th, that was like, oh my God, I've heard about Martin Luther King, and he died on my birthday.
Yeah.
So we had this connection going. And
Mhm.
you know, Dad and you were
Yeah.
tighter than me and him.
Oh, okay.
All
Oh
right.
my goodness. Yeah, that was his son.
Yeah.
And then we got this smaller picture here of Byron's father here, the young man that raised him.
Yeah.
So
John P. Allen.
oh yeah,
John P. Allen.
Allen.
Mr. Allen. So you all, and he's late Mr. Allen as
Yes,
well.
yes.
So tell us a little bit about your upbringing and since we're highlighting fathers, tell us a little bit about your fathers.
Well, unfortunately, I was raised by my mom.
Okay.
So
Well, wait a minute. Was your mom the mom and the dad?
yeah,
Okay. God bless her. God bless her. There's a lot of ladies like that.
yeah. So I didn't really have a man in my life to tell me or to show me how to be a man. I
Okay.
learned it in the streets.
Okay.
Okay.
And as I was out there in the streets, I just kind of, if I be in your home, then I'm gonna watch how you all conduct.
Okay.
And then if I see something that gonna teach me something, I'm gonna keep that with me and,
Okay.
and store it in the back of my membrane, because as I get older, I can use that when I do get married. So I was always trying to seek things that gonna make me better.
Okay.
Okay.
So I didn't, like I said, I didn't have no man in the house to teach me. I learned out there in the streets, and I made mistakes, true enough.
Right.
And when I got a son, I wasn't in his life until I got saved.
Okay.
And when I got saved, then I asked him to forgive me for not being in his life. And then when I did see my father, when I was grown, I apologized. I asked him to forgive me. I had forgave him for
Yeah.
not being in my life, because I didn't want that curse of without a father to try to instill in my son.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, he did forgave me for not being in his life and whatnot.
Yeah.
So he and I supposed to be going out tomorrow for Father's Day.
Ah, that's what I'm talking about. Praise
Yeah.
God. That's good.
So, I learned, and then I tried to instill about being a man into other young men's life, because without a man to instill something into a young man's life, then they're going to take him astray. So I always try to instill something positive. We sit down, we talk about different issues, different situations.
Right.
And, I let them know my mistakes and what I did. And then I try to tell them, not to do the same thing that I did,
That's good.
So
That's
I always try to instill something positive into their life.
And I'm glad you talked about forgiveness. So many people don't know that one word, that forgiveness, that
Right.
would take you so far in the world. And a lot of times people get mad or angry at an individual, but that's not hurting that individual. That individual has gone on with their life. It's a decay, a sore in that person that's harboring that bitterness. So I'm glad you shared that, because a lot of guys are listening to this show and they needed to hear that. Okay, Pastor Golden, talk to us about your father.
Well, I was raised in a two-parent home.
Okay.
And my dad was my buddy. And
Okay.
he was a very he was a country man, so he was very old fashioned, and he always, when he talked, he always spoke wisdom.
Okay.
And he would just say little things like, if the door open, you better make sure what's on the other side before you go in. And you like, Daddy, what are you talking about? You know, he just always had these sayings, and you had to think.
Right.
He say things what he meant. But I had a very close relationship with my dad.
Would you consider the things he was saying, was it like Jesus teaching with parables?
Yeah. And you know what? I married a man do the same thing.
What up, girl?
He'll say something, I'm like, what? And back when we first married, Ronnie would say things when he's ministering, and the people would come to me say, when Pastor Ronnie said so-and-so, what did he mean? What did he mean? And then I would explain it. They started calling him Brother Parable.
Oh my
And it really amazed me, getting back to my daddy, because Ronnie's attitude and his personality was just like my dad's. It just amazed me. But I want to talk about his son. When I met Ronnie's son, he was 12. And he was just a loving, little kind young man. But when you're talking about blended families, he was so cute because he didn't know what to call me. You know, and I think one time he said something to me, and he said, Goldie. And I said, son, you don't call me Goldie.
Right.
I said, you can say Miss Goldie. You can say, what else? I said, but don't call me Goldie. I said, I don't play that. And he said, yes, ma'am. Well, then it put him he didn't know what to say. So he was so cute. Whenever he addressed me, he would just say what he had to say. He just walk up and say, excuse me, so-and-so. Are we talking about something? He'll say, so-and-so. I told Ronnie, I said, you notice your son don't call me anything. But now,
let me ask you, Goldie, so did you give him any suggestions on what to call you? He was just a little boy.
I was raised the old-fashioned way. It's yes, ma'am. It's no, ma'am. It's Miss this. It's Mr. that. That's the way I raise my kids. You don't call adults by their first name.
Baby, you better not. You better not. I remember my mom telling me one time I tried to call her Rosemarie. She said, you never call me that again. After she took me in that other room, and whatever she did, it was mama ever since. And she said I called her Rosemarie because I was just, blabbing out. I was mad about something. You don't do that.
Yeah, and that was me. You don't. Even now, we have neighbors with young kids. They say, "Hey, Goldie." I say, "Miss Goldie."
Exactly. Yeah. And they won't know unless you teach. You got to demonstrate. Exactly.
Wow. But Kevin, now I'm my Goldie.
I like that. Okay.
Yeah, I'm my Goldie. And just a awesome young man with the love and respect, and he's Ronnie all over again. So I want to say that he's just a sweet young man. My boys, I have 3, 2 birth, and I adopted one.
Okay.
And they call Ronnie Pawpaw.
Pawpaw, okay.
Pawpaw. And they are all just, I thank God for them. There's one married, has 5 kids.
Okay.
My daughter, I have one daughter. She has 1. And my baby boy, that was 12, he has the rest of them.
All the rest of them, huh? Okay.
His wife just had one a couple of months ago. They live in Atlanta. And I said to him, I said, dog, son, I said, you all going mighty fast, because the baby less than 2, and then they had another one. He said, well, mama, you know, the Bible said, be fruitful and multiply.
Okay, so he got that out of that, huh?
Yeah, so
Okay.
he's being obedient to the word of God, so it's okay. But I thank God for them, you know, just and how he just blessed us to just come together and just get. It's just God. You can have a good marriage. I love being married. I do. I love being married.
I'm just so glad to hear you say that, because honey, we've heard so many people, they talk about, oh, there's no good men out there. And I just have to stop them. Don't say that. Because see, I got a good one. I don't know what's out there, but look, but we got a good one.
We got a good one.
We have to be so careful what we speak out. And a few minutes ago, earlier, I think you mentioned when I guess you all had gotten a divorce, and then God, before he put you all together, you said you weren't looking for a husband. That's what women need to hear. We shouldn't be looking for no husband. The Bible tells us when a man finds a wife. That's what the Bible said, and we get it all twisted. We out there looking, and when you look long enough, you're gonna find something, but it may not be what you need. So that's one reason for this show. We want to be able to guide as much as we possibly can, and to let people know marriages, you're gonna have good days, you're gonna have bad days.
Yeah.
That's just life.
That's right.
That's life.
But you need to have some fun in there as well.
That's right.
Right, babe?
That's right.
Can we have some fun, babe?
Yes.
And let me ask, I want to ask someone about how romantic, Ronnie, how romantic is Golden? Golden, how romantic is your husband, Ronnie? You answered it. You answered it. You gave me the answer, girl. I love it. Let's see. They're already trying to call because they know we're pre-taping. They already want to know what's going on. What else you want to share, honey, before we get off?
I'm pretty well down to, why don't we talk about our sponsors?
Okay.
Who put us here?
Who put us here? Because we got to bless them with a gift tonight.
Yeah, that's right.
Well. Yes, we had a sponsor, and it was so cute because they know once or twice a month we have a special episode. So they said they wanted to be anonymous. They said, just let the couples know they're going to bless you all with a piece of jewelry. And I got so tickled because when I saw you with the earrings on and I saw Ronnie with the necklace, I said to myself, honey, that's pretty good. Yeah. The couple don't know the sponsor. The sponsor don't know them, but they know they like some jewelry. Let me see. Hold on one second. Hello. Yes, we are still taping, and I will call you back. Bye-bye. They'll call in a minute. Okay, hon. So the sponsor's going to bless them with some jewelry.
Right.
We're excited about that. And our normal sponsor, our original sponsor.
We do a lot of networking.
Mm-hmm.
We like to give people an opportunity. You know, to put their stuff out there on the screen, and we can do it for them.
Because there's a lot of free advertisement.
That's right.
So viewers, if you're watching, if you have any kind of business and you want your product shown, do it. Give us a call. Check us out, Amazing Couples Game Show. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's Amazing Couples Game Show. If you want to be a sponsor and bless the couples, they will accept your gifts. So come on, and we are calling in more couples because, honey, we are now scheduling for the month of July. Yeah, it goes really fast.
You may not think so, but sometimes it's hard to get people.
Yeah, we're say, wait a minute. But when we get them, we have them. Like this couple here, this was a God sent to us right here. Beautiful. Couple from Montgomery, Alabama. So in closing, how can both of you all in closing tell our viewers how you all have been blessed just being on this show, not really knowing anything about the Hodges? Talk to them about your accepting the invitation.
He touching me over here. What?
Okay,
Well,
okay, now let's go here. Come on.
She started the fire.
She did, huh?
He started the fire.
She started, okay.
Yeah. So
And-
you
and
go
look-
ahead.
And look, wait a minute, Ronnie, you didn't blow it out. You accepted, didn't you?
I accepted it.
You know,
Listen, Ronnie, listen.
you can also be on the show as a couple.
Look, Golden already said it. Golden
Okay,
already
yeah,
said they wanted to be on the game
Oh,
show.
right there.
Honey Bun didn't even know that. He was saying y'all can be on it. So viewers, read my lips. The couple right here, they're gonna be on one of the upcoming
Yeah.
game shows. Look for them, okay? Okay, honey. So you already heard God. You knew they were supposed to be on there. That's what I'm talking
There
about.
you go.
Have
And I'll say that I heard God, because when I first heard about it, you know how on social media you get these emails and messages and things, and you kind of glimpse and you just go on, you know, you don't really read them. And so when I first heard about it, I kind of glimpsed, but I didn't really pay it any attention. And I think a few days later, so I was going looking on again, and I saw it again.
And what did
And
you
I-
see now? What did you see?
Something about the name of your ministry,
Amazing
couples,
Couples Game Show. Okay.
amazing couples, and the game show. And I said, I wonder, is this the newlywed game?
Yes, the new version, girl.
Yeah, and so, you know, I looked and I said, I think I seen something like this, an email about this or something. So then I went back and I read it and I said, that's good. So I showed it to Ronnie. I said, Ronnie, I said, look at this couple game show. I said, this will be a good thing for us with couples living for Christ. I said, we might can get some of our couples to do that. We can go on or something like that. But I'm thinking it's a newlywed game, you know.
I'm glad you said that, girl, because that's what it is. It's the new 2022 version of the newlywed game. And we coming to individuals around the globe. We coming to their home. And we have a lot of loving going on, a lot of laughter, giving gifts and finding out how well that husband really know that wife.
That's
How
right.
well that wife really know that husband.
Yes,
And so no, nobody really know each other.
No.
We laugh, we have a good time, and you get some gifts.
Yeah.
yes, and that's what I saw. And then when I contacted Phyllis, she said, didn't I contact you or something? I said, yeah. She said, but you didn't respond. I said, well, I didn't really pay it any attention, but then when I said, oh yeah, I want to know about this, and then I think I contact you.
Yes.
Yes, and I have really enjoyed this. I really have.
Yeah.
And we were looking forward to the game show, Byron. We
There you
were.
go. Have a lot of fun there.
Praise
Yes,
God. Well, praise
yes.
God. We will be giving you all a date coming up real soon. And we definitely want you all to be a part of the game show. And like we always encourage and invite our viewers, if you haven't already subscribed, subscribe today because you'll get a chance to see all the episodes. So this show is always pre-recorded. So it will air on Father's Day, June 19th, which is the same double blessing. It's Father's Day and it's Juneteenth. So everybody is going to be sitting at the computer or the iPad or the phone to watch this wonderful couple from Montgomery, Alabama.
Yeah.
Okay. And so what I want to do, I want to close it out with our song, and I want them to dance and sing with us. What about
Oh my goodness.
that? Yes, y'all gotta sing and dance with us. Honey, let me scoot up
Me.
That little here.
here. Okay, here we go, y'all. Here we go. Stepping it up.
We're stepping it up.
Laughing, love, and amazing couple. We're stepping it up. Amazing, amazing, how amazing, just amazing. Laughing, love, and amazing couple. We're stepping it up.
Stepping it up.
We got that. Okay, so we're gonna close out. The couples, we got a hug. Come on, y'all got a hug. And kisses. Bless you all. We'll be talking real soon, okay? Thank you all.
Thank you. We enjoyed it.
All right.
Happy Father's Day.
Happy
Yes,
Father's
you
Day.
too.
Take
Y'all
care.
too.
Alrighty.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.